What drives an individual from a promising medical career to the depths of serial murder? Join us as we delve into the perplexing and chilling journey of Anthony Garcia. Born in California in 1973, his early life appeared unremarkable. But what unfolded was anything but ordinary. As we handle the unsettling events of his medical career, we're left with a haunting question. How did he transition from a hopeful doctor to a convicted serial murderer? Explore the intricate web of his life, the shocking crimes, complex investigations, and the relentless pursuit of justice that shroud the eerie story of Anthony Garcia. But before delving into that, we welcome you to our channel, where we provide you to the information about the serial killer of history. Without further ado, let's get started. Early life and practice. He was born on June 7, 1973 in Los Angeles, California, to parents Fred and Estela. Fred worked for a postal service, while Estela was a nurse originally from Mexico. Garcia also had two younger siblings. His medical career began with promise when he earned his medical degree from the University of Utah in 1999. However, things took a turn during his residency at St. Elizabeth's Medical Center in Los Angeles. After about 6 months, he was forced to resign due to unprofessional and inappropriate conduct. Despite the setback, Garcia didn't give up. In July 2000, he embarked on another residency, this time in the pathology department at Creighton University Medical Center in Omaha, Nebraska. Unfortunately, this experience also ended on a sore note. Dr. Chandra Butra, one of his professors, gave him poor reviews, noting Garcia's attitude problem and unwillingness to learn. Garcia, in turn, responded to these reviews with threats to sue. He was ultimately terminated for erratic behavior by doctors William Hunter and Roger Brumback. Garcia continued his journey, joining the University of Illinois Chicago from 2001 to 2003. However, he left the program citing health issues, including migraine headaches and depression. His next stop was a psychiatry residency program at LSU Health Sciences Center in Shreveport, Louisiana. But by February 27, 2008, he faced a potential roadblock. The State Board of Medical Examiners informed him that he might not qualify for a medical license because he had failed to report his incomplete pathology programs at Creighton and UIC, that is University of Illinois Chicago. Garcia chose to leave the program the next day. He then applied for and received a temporary license to practice medicine in Indiana, though he later withdrew that application. In 2009, Garcia found work as a contract physician in Chicago, continuing to navigate the complex world of medicine despite his earlier setbacks. The Creighton Murders. On March 13, 2008, a chilling incident unfolded that would eventually baffle detectives. Dr. William Hunter, after Garcia had left LSU, made a shocking discovery at his home in Dundee. He found the lifeless bodies of his 11-year-old son, Thomas, and their 57-year-old housekeeper, Shirley Sherman. Both had been brutally stabbed with knives seemingly taken from their own kitchen. Omaha police detectives Derek Moyes and Scott Warner were assigned to this perplexing case. Witnesses provided description of a heavy-set, olive-skinned man seen in the area, and this individual was associated with a silver Honda CR-V featuring an out-of-state license plate. A composite sketch of the suspect's face was created based on these descriptions. The initial investigations led detectives down several paths. They explored Thomas Hunter's online gaming presence and investigated Shirley Sherman and her family, suspecting she might have been the intended target. However, no viable suspects or leads emerged. Another local stabbing case was examined, but investigators could not establish any connection between that suspect and the Hunter family murders. In their pursuit of justice, Shirley Sherman's family offered a $50,000 reward for information, even enlisting the help of a private investigator. Unfortunately, despite their efforts, the case went cold a year after the tragic murders. Fast forward to May 14, 2013, when another grim discovery was made. Jason Peterson, a piano mover, arrived at the residence of Roger Brumback and his wife Mary. Initially, It appeared that no one was home, but an anonymous sign greeted the movers in the form of a handgun magazine left in the open doorway. This discovery prompted the call to the police. Peterson later shared that he had spotted Roger Brumback's lifeless body inside the home, albeit without any apparent signs of blood. In a twist of fate, Detectives Moyes and Warner, who had been involved in the Hunter case years earlier, were sent to the Brumback residence. What they encountered was eerily like the previous case. Roger had multiple gunshot wounds and a stab wound to his neck, while Mary had been stabbed to death using knives taken from their own kitchen. The suspicion of a connection between these murders and the Hunter case grew stronger, particularly since Dr. Brumback had been a colleague of Dr. Hunter. Moreover, it was determined that the Brumbacks had been deceased for a day or two. The last contact with them had been on Mother's Day during an online chat with their daughter. Adding to intrigue, just 4 days after the Brumback murders, Dr. Chandra Butra reported an attempted break-in at her home on Mother's Day. Luckily, she and her husband were not at home and nothing was stolen. Investigators speculated that the intruder had been frightened off by the home's alarm system. These bizarre and unsettling events were now intertwined, leaving detectives with a complex puzzle to solve. Investigations and arrest. Following the Brumback murders, detectives began to piece together a troubling connection, suspecting that the attempted break-in at the Butra home might be linked to the double homicides. Detective Moyes discovered Garcia's file, noting that his dismissal from Creighton had significantly hindered his ability to secure employment or licensure in other states. This, in turn, provided a potential motive for Garcia to harm the 3 doctors. Further evidence emerged, strengthening the case against Garcia. It was confirmed that he had bought a firearm compatible with the magazine discovered at the Brumback home shortly before the murders. Garcia's credit card was also used in the vicinity of the Brumback murders on Mother's Day. Additionally, his phone showed a search for the Brumback address mere minutes after the alarm went off at the Butra residence. Omaha detectives collaborated with Indiana law enforcement and the FBI to track Garcia. On July 15th, they arrested him on a highway in Union County, Illinois. His blood alcohol level was found to be twice the legal limit, resulting in a DUI charge. A search of his vehicle yielded a .45 caliber handgun, 50 bullets, an LSU lab coat, and a stethoscope. Subsequently, Nebraska authorities took him into custody and charged Garcia with 4 counts of first-degree murder and the use of a handgun. In a swift response, the state of Illinois suspended his medical license shortly after his arrest. Garcia's trial commenced on October 2016, with prosecutors Don Klein and Brenda Beadle leading the case. Defense counsel was provided by attorneys Bob Mota Jr., Robert Mota Sr., and Jeremy Jorgensen, with Allison Mota initially among them until she was removed by Judge Gary Randall from making public statements about DNA evidence before the trial. During the trial, prosecutors presented evidence from Garcia's home, including incriminating items found in a kitchen trash bag and his previous ownership of a silver Honda CR-V matching the description of a vehicle seen near the Hunter home at the time of the initial murders. Moreover, Garcia's saliva sample was a DNA match for the intruder who had broken into the Butra's house on the day the Brumbacks were killed. A key moment in the trial was the testimony of Cecilia Hoffman, a former stripper from Terre Haute, who claimed Garcia had confessed to her 4 years after the Dundee murders. He allegedly told her that he had killed a young boy and an old woman. The defense challenged her credibility by highlighting her alcohol consumption at the time of her conversation with the police. Prosecutors also emphasized the similarities in the murder methods and the firearm found in Garcia's possession, which matched the type of handgun magazine left at the Brumback crime scene. Throughout most of the proceedings, Garcia appeared disengaged, often wearing headphones and appearing to be asleep. On October 26, 2016, Garcia was convicted on 9 counts, including 5-degree murders, use of a deadly weapon to commit a felony, and felony burglary. Following the conviction, the Motas withdrew from the case, leaving Garcia with a public defender. Sentencing was initially delayed, due to a state referendum on the death penalty, which was ultimately retained. In September 2018, a 3-judge panel sentenced Garcia to death. After his conviction, Garcia remained on death row at the Tecumseh State Correctional Institution. In November 2022, his public defender's office initiated attempts to appeal his sentencing, ultimately filing a motion for a new trial in March 2023. However, the Nebraska Supreme Court rejected his appeal for a new trial, affirming his convictions and sentences. Notably, Detectives Moyes, Warner, Davis, and Herford received recognition as Crime Stoppers Officers of the Year for their work on the Garcia case in 2014. Additionally, in 2010, Creighton University unveiled a memorial to Thomas Hunter, which was later relocated near the C.L. Rachel and Werner Center in 2023. The Garcia case garnered attention in various true crimes television programs, including Resident Evil in 48 Hours and Haunting on Dateline. A fictionalized version of the case was also featured in the true crime series James Patterson Murder is Forever, broadcast on the Investigation Discovery Channel. In the chilling saga of Anthony Garcia's transformation from doctor to deadly serial killer, justice prevailed. With his conviction, he remains on death row, while the detectives who unraveled the mystery received well-deserved recognition. While the eerie story of Garcia will continue to captivate and baffle, we invite you to explore more intriguing stories on this channel. Until next time, stay curious and stay safe.